Hey YouTubers, wanted to show you a scope I just picked up through Amazon. It's a Millett 416 by 50 TRS-1. It's a 1 mil click and it's a mil bar. It's got a 30 mil tube. Comes pretty packaged up pretty tight. Not a whole lot of movement in here. One of the more elaborate boxes I've seen. I did already have this out of here just to make sure everything was alright before I did it. Didn't want to do a YouTube video and have a big huge crack in a glass or something like that. Wasn't real happy with the way that Amazon packaged it. It was a long box, like for a big roll of paper, and they only had package stuffing on one side of the box, and when I picked it up, the actual scope was laying on the bottom side of the Amazon box where there was no packing. So God only knows how many times that's bounced around. This particular scope has side focus for your parallax, locking turrets. They just twist here at the bottom and you twist them down. They're pretty tight, not a whole lot of play there. On both windage and elevation. It does come with flip-up caps. Not too bad. They do like to slide off a little bit, so they may get. I might put a little piece of paper or something there to hold them. The fast eye focus on this one has grooves in it, so you can grab a hold of it. But if you'll notice, the inside of the cap also has grooves in it too. So as you turn the fast eye focus, your flip-up cap's going to turn with it. Kind of nice there, so that way, in case it gets moved or something, you know about it. There's also a small dot right by the 0 on the indicator there to show you where center is. It doesn't have a D10 in it, but at least you have a reference point there. The actual zoom ring here does have a D10 in it at 10, so that's where you're going to do all of your adjustments or estimations using your mil bar on it. So that's nice that it clicks at 10 so that you can actually feel it instead of have to look around the scope. These turrets are settable at resettable at 0. You just undo the centerpiece, pick up, turn. One thing I do like about having these lockdowns here on it is you don't have to push down on the caps, which I find sometimes if you end up where your 0 is or your mil is, that you get right in the middle of a click or 2 clicks. I've had it on 2 clicks on some, that when you go to push the cap down, you actually have to turn it a click to get it to lock, which not a real big deal. I mean, obviously you can adjust for it, but even still, it is kind of nice. These are real nice, large, readable numbers here. So you definitely don't have a problem with that. This does have an illuminated reticle on it. It is green. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it through the scope itself. I don't think you can, but it is very bright. It goes all the way up to number 10, and it only lights up the actual crosshairs themselves and not the bars directly around it. There is no bleed. It doesn't bleed to the outside of the case or the inside of the tube at all, so there is no glare from the inside. Really a fan of that. Haven't had some cheaper scopes before that they bleed really, really bad. This one has no bleed at all, and it only lights up the center portion of the crosshairs where your actual mil dot estimations are going to be. Really wish you guys could see that. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. This is kind of a 300. I got it off Amazon for $340, which was about the average price on it. There's not many other places I could get it for cheaper. I do have Amazon Prime, so obviously the shipping was free, so I didn't have to pay for the shipping, but every other place out there was give or take $5 on $300, not including shipping. So it was pretty close. Just about anywhere I went and looked for that. Haven't got this, obviously, shoot it yet, considering the fact I just got it today, but it will be interesting to find out how this performs, and we'll put that on top of the my Mossberg MVP. That was what I originally purchased it for. For those of you who haven't seen it or are looking for a picture on an MVP, I've left just the lower pieces of the rings on here, get an idea of what this is kind of going to look like once it's set up on there. There's not a lot of pictures of or videos of Millett scopes out there, nor are there very many of the MVP. This is the longer Predator too, so don't have the caps on here, so I'm gonna try to hold it in place, but you can kind of get a side shot here. This is the 50 with the Millett high scope rings on it. Had to go with high because of the actual flip up caps that go on it. Tried to measure it out, but was still a little leery of how much room I was going to have, so I went ahead and went with the highs. We'll find out. It does sit quite a bit. I can slide a pinky underneath it, between the actual objective here on the end and the barrel itself. So we'll see. May have to come down with it depending on if I want to deal with those caps or not. They are real tight caps, and they do take a little bit of effort to actually get open, to get them to pop up, but we'll see. Until then, I'll give you an update after I get to shooting this and see, and I will let you know how it turns out.